This is called completing the square. Oh yeah. Okay. So completing the square, it's it's a way to do two things. It's a way to solve quadratic equations, and it's a way to set up quadratic equations and other types of equations into to get them into a form where you can tell things about them. So if it's a parabola equation, you can tell where the vertex is. And if it's a circle equation, you can tell where the center of the circle is. But we use it a lot. You'll use it again in Algebra 2. You'll use it again in pre-calculus, if and when you get there. Okay, so it's an important thing. But the idea is, okay, kind of geometrically, you don't have to just thinking about it. So what you have to figure out is what two things do I need to multiply together and such that both things are exactly the same and I end up with a minus 16 over here. So what would have to go here? What times what will give you my x squared? X and x, right? See that? Good. And then all I have to do is I have to end up with a minus 16x. And that minus 16x comes from this box and this box. See that? By adding them together, if I were to multiply two things that are the same, what I'm trying to do is I want to figure out what x plus or minus, okay, something squared, I want it to equal this, okay? And so if I want these two things to make negative 16, what do you think should go over here? 8. Very good. Jordan. Positive 8 or negative 8?
Negative.
Negative 8. Okay? Negative 8. Because if I multiply this times this, I get x squared. If I multiply this times this, I get, what's this? What goes in this box? Negative 8x. And if I multiply this times this, what do I get in this box? Negative 8x. And altogether, how many x's do I have? Negative 16x. What goes in this box right here? 64, right? 60. That's what you're trying to figure out is what is C, and C is just this times this, which is 64. Okay, and that's basically how you complete the square. That's what you're doing when you complete the square.
That made an unpleasant sound. So the two numbers you put in the square are added to 16, like 8 or negative 8.
Negative 8 add up.
So it's not multiplying. So it would be negative 4 and negative 4, just negative 8 and negative 8.
It'd be negative 8. No, because you're multiplying the sides, right?
Oh, so
I got negative 8 times a width of x would give me negative 8x.
Yeah.
See that? And negative 8 times a width of x would also give me a negative 8x.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the two sides are what adds. And not
Yeah, these
multiplies.
things, this stuff inside the box should add up to this thing. Okay? So what does C have to be? What is C?
Negative 16.
No, it's right here.
Negative
64.
This
64.
is 64. Okay? So basically, really all you have to do is take half of this, okay, and then square it, and that's what this number is right there, okay? So what if I did the same type of problem, but I said that it's n squared plus 20n plus c, okay? And I say find C such that it's n squared plus something, such that the quadratic is a perfect squared. Meaning n plus something times n plus something would give you this. So all you have to do is take half of that. What's half of 20?
10.
What's 10 squared?
100.
100. That's C. Okay, that's it. Okay? So the quadratic, so the perfect square, C equals 100. So what you do is you take 20 divided by 2, that's equal to 10, and 10 squared equals 100. Okay? And, whoops, not C equals 0, C equals 100. Because if I multiplied n plus 10 squared, okay, and I FOILed that out, this is equal to n plus 10 times n plus 10, right? Which is equal to, that's equal to, we're going to go down, that's equal to n squared plus, this times this is 10n, plus 10n again, whoops, I forgot my n, plus 10 times 10, which is 100. That's n squared plus 20n plus 100. So what they're asking you is what number needs to go here in order that I could rewrite this as a perfect square of two numbers. It's a little tricky. What if I did y minus 6 y squared, so y squared minus 6y plus c, and I want to know how can I rewrite this as a perfect square?
9.
What do I have to add? 3. Negative 3 times negative 3. What's negative 3 times negative 3? 9. And then I could rewrite this. If I put a 9 right here, I could rewrite this as y minus 3 squared. Okay? Because if I put a 9 there, then this is equal to this. Now, what the heck you say, that's dumb, why do I have to do that? Okay? Because it's a way to solve quadratic equations. Let me show you. Okay? For instance, what if I... Who has a question? Yes?
So where it says equals n2 plus 10, what does that say up there?
Here?
Yeah. No, the top one.
This one? Here?
Yeah.
This?
No. Where it
This?
says equal n squared plus 10, what was...
That should say 10n plus 10n. 10n plus 10n plus 100 equals this. Okay, I FOILed this. First outer, inner, last. Okay? So, why would I ever want to do this? What time do we get up? I got to make sure we're at... What time?
I think it's 49.
49. Okay? We got lots of time. Okay? So, say I have this problem. X squared plus 2x minus 15 equals 0. Okay? So, this is where you use completing the square. X squared minus, so that's just kind of how you complete the square. This is where you'd use it. Okay? Plus 2x minus 15 equals 0. And I'm going to give you, some steps, okay? And these same steps are on that website. I was looking at it last night, that lady who teaches the lessons, it's exactly the same. So steps, here's the steps. You might want to write these down, okay? First thing, watch, first thing you're going to do is I'm going to bring, so one way to solve this quadratic equation, which probably, this one would be easier to solve by factoring, but we're not going to do that right now, okay? First thing you want to do is you want to add, I'm going to change colors, okay? Add 15 to both sides, okay? Austin. So when I add 15 to both sides, I get x squared plus 2x equals 15. So this is solving by completing the square. Solve by completing the square. The square. So the first step is to move the constant term to the right, term to right side, okay? So what I just did is I took this 15 and I moved it over here, okay? Now, here's the tricky part. Now I'm going to complete the square. What's half of 2? 1. So I'm going to rewrite x squared plus 2x as x plus 1 squared equals 15. Okay? But when I did this, I added something to this side of the equation. What did I add?
15.
No, I didn't add 15. If I FOIL this out, let's FOIL it. What's x plus 1 times x plus 1? What do I get? I multiply this times this, I get x squared plus 2x plus what? Not plus 2, plus this times this, right? 1, okay? So what I have added over here, when I rewrote this as this, I added 1 to this side of the equation. Now the equations, they have to stay balanced. So if I added 1 to this side of the equation, what do I have to do to this side of the equation?
Add 1.
Add 1. Now these equations are balanced. Okay?
Why are we adding 1?
That doesn't want to.
Why? Because I'm rewriting this left side as x plus 1 squared.
Isn't 1 squared 1?
Yes.
But didn't you already minus 15?
Look, this is a scale, right? Right now my scale is balanced. Yes? You understand that? Now I'm changing this left side. I'm rewriting this left side as x plus 1 squared. What I showed you is that when I rewrite this left side as x plus 1 squared, okay, x plus 1 squared, I have actually, this is equal to x squared plus 2x plus 1, not x squared plus 2x. You see? So my scale is going to go down. You see, this side's going to be heavier than that side. See? So to keep my scale in balance, I have to add a 1 over on this side. Follow that? We'll get more practice, okay? And so what I've added is the square of this to this side. Now I'm going to do this. X plus 1 squared. What's 15 plus 1? 16. How do I solve an equation like that? Here's another tricky step. What do I do? Huh? No factor. You square root it. The opposite of squaring something is squaring rooting it. Okay? You square root both sides. But when I square root both sides, I have a plus and I have a minus. You have to remember that. So I square root both sides. This square goes away, and I get x plus 1 equals plus or minus the square root of 16. What's the square root of 16? Plus or minus 4. So what I just wrote in a simple form is x plus 1 equals 4, or x plus 1 equals negative 4. Now I have to solve these two pieces. This is a lot of steps. Okay? Yes?
So do you get rid of the plus 1 like once it's in this thing?
Nope, it's with the 16 now. See, 15 now with that one.
So you just minus it from that side and put it on the other one?
And you add it to both sides. We'll do another one. You'll get. You have to do what? Where the one.
Where it says x plus 1 squared equals 16,
Yes.
but like the 1 is gone from that.
Right, because the 1 is still in here, right? If I expand x plus 1 squared, it is this, you see? And so by rewriting this piece as this, I've added 1 to the left side of the equation. So to keep my equation balanced, I have to add 1 to the right side. Now I solve these two. I get x equals 3 or x equals negative 5. which is the same answer that I would have gotten if I factored this in the first place. Okay? I'm not going to write down the steps, it's too much yet. Okay? I'm just going to do another example.
Yeah, we'll write them at the end after our
Yeah, we'll write them at the end. Okay? So, here, I'm going to move on. Okay? X squared minus 14x plus 16 equals 0. Okay? So, I don't like that paper. Solve by completing the square. You need to do like 2 or 3 of these until you see what's going on. Completing the square. Now that one I probably wouldn't want to solve by completing the square because it's a lot easier to do by factoring. But if I have something that looks like this, x squared minus 14x plus 16 equals 0. That one is a good one to do by completing the square. Okay? Do you remember what my first step was? No. You don't.
I do.
What is that? Okay, nice. Okay, so at least we got the first step. That's a start. That's a start. Okay. I'm going to move the constant onto the right side. Okay. X squared minus 14x. Very good. You got that part. Equals what's on this side? Negative 16. Now I do the completing the square part. All I have to do is take x minus half of this. Okay? What's half of that? 7 squared. Okay? Because I'm on a rate equals negative 16 plus something. Okay? When I rewrote this, when I rewrote x squared minus 14x as this, what have I added to this side of the equation? 7. No, not 7. 7 squared.
Yeah. 49.
49. I've added 49. So to keep my equation balanced, what do I need to put over here? Positive 49. You get it? Okay? That's what you do. Okay? You just take half of this and then you add the square of this to the right side. Okay? Then you have it, then you combine the terms. X minus 7 squared equals, what does this come out to be? 33? 33. Now what? Square rooted. Okay, so now this is kind of good because this comes out to be a messy number. Okay? We're going to leave it as a messy number now. And you have to remember plus or minus, because all of these are going to have 2 answers. Okay? So plus or minus. So you have x minus 7, because the square root takes away the square, equals positive square root of 33. Or x minus 7 equals negative square root of 33. Get that? Good. And then I want to get x by itself. So what do I do with the x?
You add.
I add it to both sides. So add 7 to both sides. I'm going to add 7 here. I'm going to add 7 here. I'm going to add a 7 here. Now generally what we do is you put this 7 in front of the square root. So x equals 7 plus square root of 33. Or x equals 7. I've added 7 to both sides here. And that makes that go away. Or x equals 7 minus the square root of 33. And if you put that in your calculator, you'll get some answer there. And you'll get some answer there. Okay? Yeah. Or this is called an exact answer, but if you put it in your calculator, square root of 33 is somewhere over 6, so you'll get like 12, I don't know, 12.43 or something like that. And if you put this in your calculator, 7 minus 6, 5 point something, you'll get like 1.4, I don't know, 1.67. I'm just making those numbers up. I don't know what they are. But you can put those in your calculator. Let's do one more, and then we'll write the steps, and then we'll be done. Okay? Yes, Orion?
Wait, why can't we just add the 7 to the 33 and then do plus or minus negative square root of 40?
Because it's the square root of 33. It's not 33, right? Square root of 33 is like 5 point something, right? It's not 33. You understand? And it's just order of operations. Okay, let's try one more. X squared plus 9x plus 15. So solve by completing the square. Solve by completing the square. And I'm going to change your homework because we didn't get to finding the vertex. And that's okay. Completing the square. Okay? I'm going to get x squared plus 9x plus 15. X squared plus 9x plus 15 equals 0. What's my first step?
Move the constant term.
Move the constant term. So I'm going to subtract the 15. Subtract the 15. Okay. That gives me x squared plus 9x equals negative 15. So here's where it gets a little ugly. Now what?
Half 9.
What's half of 9?
4.5.
X plus 4.5 squared equals negative 115 plus, how much have I added?
17.
4.5 squared, I did it. The 4.5 squared, 4.5, I'm going to do a little side here, okay? If I square that, I have added 20.25. Okay? And the reason to use completing the square, because in numbers you can't always solve problems by factoring. And this is a case in which you can't solve it by factoring, so you have to do something else. Okay? And that's what we're doing. So now I get x plus 4.5 quantity squared equals, that comes out to be 5.25, is that right? 5.25. And then I square root both sides. Okay? Square root this side. Square root this side. Remember, you have a plus half and a minus half. So I have x plus 4.5 equals plus or minus the square root of 5.25. Actually, the square root of 5.25, I think. Oh no, it doesn't come out nice. Okay. Now what? Now, where are you going? It's not time to go yet. Now what? Now what? Come on, we're almost there. What do? I want to get x by itself. Subtract 4.5, subtract 4.5. Okay? And when I do that, now I have x equals, I'm going to put the negative 4.5 first. Negative 4.5 plus the square root of 5.25. Or x equals negative 4.5 minus the square root of 5.25. And you can figure out those two answers on your calculator. Let me bring up the calculator, okay? Real quick.
Would we be able to get a few steps on the board for them to do with them? Are there steps they need?
Okay, I'll put the steps on the board. We'll get rid of this. All right, so you can plug that in your calculator and get the answers, right? So let me write some steps. First step, you can write this right alongside this example. Move the constant to right side. Constant to right side. There's step 1. Okay. Step 2 would be rewrite, add, rewrite the left as x plus, well, all this is b divided by 2.
Okay, everyone, in honor of College Friday, we have 2 student winners, David Andrews and Sarissa Raleigh, 2 teacher winners, Doc and Rasa, who went to Indiana University, but in honor of Mr. Walker, here is your Indiana University diploma.
Which means, oh, we're finally ready for steps. Goodbye.
No, there's 2 minutes. I gotta get the homework
You guys, you're gonna want these over the weekend.
Yeah, 8 is.
The right side. I have to change your homework, okay?
Is it on the blue
Hurry
sheet?
up.
That's on the blue sheet, Mr. Leader.
No, but you're not gonna get to the vertex stuff, okay? So I'm cutting it down. Hush! I'm cutting your homework down, so quit your complaining here, okay?
What does that say? Take the square root of both?
On both sides, okay? Page 579.
Okay, both sides.
What's the homework?
I'm working. Orion, you're not getting that homework. 579, 2 through 18 even. Okay, that's 9 problems. Okay? 579, 2 through 18 even. Page 579, 2 through 18 even. Okay? There you go. Hey,
Why?